faith, cause these times is hard. Psalm 14:1. The fool said it's hard.
What an honor and privilege to stand before our Yahweh and you and this great congregation that came out to him all around the area. Praise the mighty Yah. I'm Brother Yahshua, your speaker, and reading for it is our Ra Shalom. Praise be to the mighty Yah. Yah has put a great lesson on hand. You know, we here at Yahshua temple about Yah's present times, his truths, and other temples around the area, his truths from Genesis to Revelation. And today's lesson he had put onto my line is, "Oh, my children, Yisrael, hear me. What to sport or not, my covering." Praise the mighty Yah. See, Yisrael has, as our ancestors, has slacked in this, in what Yahweh said, what to wear and what not to wear. So he wants it to be brought back to the present time. It's no done away with, no excuses. It is written, it is written, son, written and spoken. It's SABBATH, it's command.
That's right.
Praise be to the mighty Yah. But before we go there, Yah had gave me some nuggets, as our Raw Art Makai would say, golden nuggets, and Messenger Daniel Davis would say, nuggets, golden nuggets. So before we go to the lesson, we're going to hit these nuggets to y'all. Teach y'all some of these nuggets, which are good for you. And we're going to go to Acts chapter 8, Acts chapter 8 and verse 12, and it reads whenever you have it, God. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
Praise.
Acts 8 and 12. Praise Yahweh.
Acts chapter 8, verse 12. But when they believed Philip, preaching the things concerning the kingdom of Elohim and the name of Yahshua Mashiach, they were baptized, both men and women.
What I heard? What, both men and Iyshshah?
All right.
You let me know. When he be submerged, he read. It's a you had took on this work Yahweh has you to do. He wants you to know this present time that he hasn't forgot about his beautiful babes,
Right.
his daughters, his Iyshshah and Akabs. You know this when Israel failed to do the assignment that was given us, it was given over to the other goyim, and they just tore it down, the women down, made them like they wasn't nothing, and then broken Israel came along and fed into it and running with it. They forgot, you know what thus says Yah says from Genesis to Revelation. Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go to Acts chapter 13. Acts chapter 13, and it reads, chapter 13, 48 to 50, and it reads, praise be to the mighty Yah.
Acts chapter 13, verse 48. And when the goyim heard this, they were glad and glorified the word of Yahweh. And as many as were ordained to eternal life believed. 49. And the word of Yahweh was published throughout all the region. 50. But the Yadim stirred up the devout and honorable women.
Say what? Did I tell me I didn't hear this. The Yadim stirred up the devout and kabod Iyshshahs. Iyshshahs continued.
But the Yadim stirred up the devout and honorable women and the chief men of the city, and raised persecution against Shaul and Barnabas, and expelled them out of their coast.
Y'all get that? These women was held in high esteem. So you know they was teaching some, telling the men something to do, a nugget, a golden nugget. For you go Hebrews and all the Adams and all religion. Did y'all say Iyshshahs couldn't teach? No! Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Let's go to chapter 16. Chapter 16, verses 13 to 15, and it reads, Rob, whenever you have holler Yahweh. 16 verses 13 to 15.
Acts chapter 16, verse 13. And on the Shabbat we went out of the city by a riverside, where prayer was wont to be made, and we sat down and spake unto the women which resorted thither.
Continue.
14. And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple of the city of Thyatira, who worshipped Elohim, heard us, whose heart Yahweh opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Shaul. 15. And when she was baptized, and her household, she besought us, saying, If ye have judged me to be faithful to Yahweh, come into my house and abide there. And she constrained us.
Hallelujah. Y'all hear that? She heard it, and then she even had a whole household. So she brought in her Iysh. Praise the mighty Yah. And once she came into that knowledge, she was there to Yahweh. That's it. That's our commission, to go out and tell this present day truth. Praise the mighty Yah. Skip down to verse 40, and it reads.
Acts 16, verse 40. And they went out of the prison and entered into the house of Lydia. And when they had seen the brethren, they comforted them and departed.
Hallelujah. Y'all see that honor that the disciplined ones had after they were released out of the joint? They went to the sister's crib. They could have went to everywhere. That is honor. Praise be to the mighty Yah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's go to chapter 17 and verse 4, and it reads.
Acts chapter 17, verse 4. And some of them believed, and consorted with Shaul and Silas, and of the devout Goyi a great multitude, and of the chief women not a few.
Y'all hear that? Chief women. So you know they was giving orders. Yeah. Praise be to the mighty Yah. That's a nugget, a golden nugget for you men that don't believe that Iyshshah Yahweh. There's your answer. For thus says Yahweh.
Come on,
Amen.
man. Speak it, brother.
Praise the mighty Yah. Now let's go into this wonderful lesson. We're going to start off at Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. And it reads, whenever you have it, praise be to the mighty Yah. It's all about Yah's covering.
Yes.
And this is he letting you know we've made in his image, so he had it covered. And he's going to let you know this is a command. This is something we're supposed to do. It's Yisrael. He's talking to you. Stand up and represent. How else you going to be that particular damn if you don't do and be up to his standard and do what he asks you to do. Wear what he asks you to wear. Talk, say what he says you to do. From Genesis to Revelation. Praise the mighty Yah. Daniel chapter 7 verse 9, and it reads.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Praise the mighty Yah. Now this is the catch, y'all. He said, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. The hair of his head, meaning his whole head, he had a beard, y'all. So we were made in his image. We are supposed to sport a beard. That's what he said. What to sport and what not to sport. To sport a beard. And our big brother Yahshua had a beard. We made in the image. So that's it. Hasatan want to strip you from this for you won't look like your daddy and your big brother. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
That's right.
Hallelujah. It's all about covering. That's what it's about.
Yes, it is.
So let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 28. Ezekiel chapter 28 and verses 12 to 19, and it reads, it's all about covering. This one, you know, he covered this up with a beard. That was in Shemaiah. And check out this other covering he did in Shemaiah. chapter 28, verses 12 to 19, and it reads.
Ezekiel chapter 28.
28, 12 to 9.
Verse 12. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, Thou sealest up the song, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Elohim. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardis, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created.
Praise the mighty Yah. He talking about Hasatan.
Sure
Look
is.
how much he had him decked out.
Yeah.
That's why Yah's about covering. You heard what he said
Say it,
in the song. Every Megad Suah was thy covering. He had told him, that's what he's about covering.
Yeah.
It's all started in Shemaiah.
Yes.
The physical is likened to the spiritual. That's all it is.
Yes.
It's a copycat of the spirit. He got a little contrite mind, he put it into the physical so we can get it.
Right.
But you want to be in the flesh, you ain't going to get it. You know, you got to get that ruach, let that ruach rule, be in that spiritual mind and get it.
Yes,
and allow yourself, humble yourself to the Shabbat. Praise be to the mighty Yah. Continue.
Verse 14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth.
Covereth again. Say covereth. Continue.
And I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the Kadesh mountain of Elohim, when thou walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee.
And that goes for us. We are made perfect until iniquity is found in it. Because Yah's ruach is perfect.
Yeah.
And how you get that perfection? By doing what you know. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
Yes, sir.
Continue.
Verse 16. By the multitude of thy merchandise they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of Elohim, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. 17. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. 18. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore I will bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. 19. All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more.
Praise the mighty Yah. Yeah, he's a terror if you not stand anon and humble and in his ruach. He's a terror. He's no terror to us. He's terrified of us. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
That's right.
Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go to Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 3. And now we're going to go and find out the first covering on the earth. In the garden, Yah. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
Oh, yeah.
Genesis chapter 3, verses 9 to 11, and it reads, Rob, whenever you have it.
Okay. Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. 11. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Praise the mighty Yah. Right there. They're nakedness. So now there's a need for cover. Praise
Yes,
the
brother.
mighty
Say it.
Yah.
Right.
So y'all had to do something.
Yes.
Skip down to verse 21 and it reads.
All right, Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skins and clothe them.
Praise the mighty Yah. And you know these folks are black. So you know Yahweh, like he did House of Time, when he made them coats, you know it was decked out. You know, like that.
Nice.
And it's two folds to this.
That's
It's
right.
the covering of Yahweh, your nakedness, he don't want it to be exposed. And it was covered. There was some animal died. That was the first covering of for half the time, the dam, the blood. Praise the mighty God. It's a cover. The sure came to cover us all.
Yes,
For his final covering that is needed.
Yes.
The redemption for our nephesh. Praise the mighty God. It's about the covering. It's all about Yahweh. He's just setting it up to get to the covering that he wants in this present time.
Yeah.
The wearing our mikvah eyes, our zit-tits, fringes, and to be to wear respectful into the temple. That's what it's all about. To represent him, Yisrael. Praise be to the mighty Yahweh.
Teach it, Rob.
Teach it.
That's all it's about. How are you going to be that particular am if you don't do what he said? Just like knucklehead ancestors, we are the same DNA. Beautiful. So easy though, as broad argument. It's simple. Just do what he said. It's not hard. It be a little difficult task in the beginning, but then you get over them bumpy bumps.
Right.
You take these hard knocks on your own, and you get over it and get through it.
Yes, you do.
You know, and you keep it moving on.
Yes,
Get with Yah and Yahshua. When them come, they won't fade.
Come on,
Like
now,
raw argument. You go from immunity, faith to faith.
Right.
It makes you stronger to go to
Yes, praise Yahweh.
where you can minister to yourself and help others. That's all it's about.
Yes,
Edifying,
yes,
lifting
praise
up
Yahweh.
the nation of Yisrael.
Come on, brother.
Individual,
Teach it.
one by one, as a whole, it'll be there in due time.
Yes.
But one by one, to go out and do this marvelous work we got corral to do. Praise be to the mighty
Come on
God.
now, please.
Let's go to
Yeah.
chapter 4, 13 to 15. Chapter 4, 13 to 15, and it reads.
And it says, chapter 4, verse 13. And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. 14. Behold, thou hast driven me this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. 15. And Yahweh said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Praise the mighty God. And Yahweh said a mark upon Cain, lest any finding should move him.
Yeah.
That's the covering he gave. He gave him a covering, a protection.
Say it, brother.
That's the covering. And he always wanted to cover us. He said, I would have gathered you like a chicken gather her chicks. You know, the way of protection and covering of under the wings of protection. It's what these tits and fringes are. They are wings of protection.
Yes.
Yes.
What are that protection? To know those 10 commandments. And you go, that's the protection of umbrella we on. As the raw argument God say, you go out there when it's raining with an umbrella, you're not covered. You're not protected.
Come on.
Praise the mighty
Praise
God.
the mighty God.
So simple. Isn't it?
Right, Rod, I'd like for you to read that. Now we want these present times truth, the covering that Yahweh wants you to know. Praise be to the mighty God.
Praise.
Has women's addiction to casual dressing gone too far?
Yes.
Yoga pants belong in the yoga studio. What's next? Wearing a Speedo to the supermarket?
Huh, yeah.
Imagine if men did that.
Huh, nasty looking.
Everyone is noticing that pantyhose and nylons have fallen out of fashion for women. Most go without them or substitute tights, leggings, and pants. Tights are worn under dresses and skirts during the summer and extend to the fall and winter. Leggings are acceptable when worn as active wear or as a layering piece under casual wear. A good pair of thick black leggings paired with a cute sports bra can make for very chic gym wear. Another great way to use leggings is as a layering piece under a tunic or pants to add warmth. Leggings should not be worn on their own unless you're planning to work up a sweat. When worn alone, leggings should be left for the gym or yoga class. Men wrote that it's bizarre and disturbing to see the outfits on mature adult women, noting that it's usually paired with a blousy top and a ponytail hairdo. They said it's the worst thing to happen in women's fashion since the miniskirt. Women should wear a nice pair of tailored slacks or jeans instead. Yoga pants count as business casual now? Barrington, Rhode Island. Women clad in yoga pants plan to parade through a coastal Rhode Island town in protest of a man who said the attire looks tacky and ridiculous. The women plan to hold a parade Sunday in Barrington to show they can wear whatever they want. New York Times, March 26, 2017. By Liam Stack. United Airlines barred 2 females from boarding a flight Sunday morning and required them to change into a dress after a gate agent decided the leggings they were wearing were inappropriate. That set off waves of anger on social media, with users criticizing what they called as intrusive, sexist policy. But the airline maintained its support for the gate agent's decision. The girl's mother said her 2 teenagers had been turned away because the gate agent said their pants, which were leggings, were not appropriate travel attire. The woman had dresses in her carry-on bag, so the children were able to put on over their leggings, and the family boarded the flight. United Airlines reserves the right to deny service to anyone its employees deemed to be inappropriately dressed. It's also alluded to the dress code applied to travelers. It says, in our contract of carriage, Rule 21, we do have the right to refuse transport for passengers who are barefoot or not properly clothed, the company tweeted. It says, leggings and yoga pants have become pretty standard casual attire for women. Quote, they're part of modern America. They're a staple go-to item, unquote.
Praise to mighty Yah. Now we're not gonna leave the brothers out. We got something for the brothers.
All right. Saggy pants. Not in the temple. It didn't start with homosexual sex in prison. According to lore, inmates allegedly sagged their pants to signal sexual availability. Prisoners were often issued clothing that was too large for them, and they couldn't wear belts. Quote, belts are not permitted in most correctional facilities because the lifeless body of their inmate owners had been found hanging from them, unquote. Sagging was later adopted by rap artists such as Ice-T and Too Short. And by 1995, it has spilled into mainstream teen culture. For the original saggers, the young black American men who sparked the trend, sagging became an act of self-expression, a form of art. Quote, people in the margins are constantly innovating in fashion and style because they often have the least, unquote, said Tanisha Ford, a professor at Black American Studies and History at the University of Delaware and author of the book Liberated Threads. Quote, their challenge is, how can you be creative with very little money and resources, unquote. Others see sagging as a symptom of contemporary America's fondness for sloppiness. People don't dress up for retirement parties anymore, a sociologist said. People don't wear ties to weddings. They wear flip-flops to church. We become a more relaxed culture. But that shouldn't make any difference in what we wear to the temple. Some critics, including Miller, are so glad to see this fashion trend evaporate that they don't care why it went on. They're just glad it's on the way out. He says, this has gone on longer than it should have. He said instead of sagging, there are standards everybody in society should aspire to. This is how language works. This is how science works. This is how you should wear your pants.
Praise the mighty Yah. And we have one more.
All right. Exposed bra straps are #1 fashion don't in the temple. We got a picture of Jennifer Lopez. She's the first one on here with her bra straps as a fashion. We can love the cute sundresses and tank tops that are out there for summer, but our biggest don't when we show or can see someone's bra straps. Exposed bra straps are #1 fashion don't. When the world is showing more skin in summer, we definitely need to be careful to tuck those straps in. Here are a few simple solutions depending on what type of top you're wearing. #1, racer back. If you don't want to invest in a racer back bra, you can always opt for the strap perfect, or if you really want to make this a cheap fix, gather your 2 bra straps in the middle of your back and have a friend stick a safety pin between them so they won't show on your top. Spaghetti strap. If we have a dress or camisole with thin spaghetti straps, we need to wear a strapless bra or covering garment underneath. If we're dealing with a slightly thicker strap or a dark color like black or navy, we should choose a bra whose straps match as closely as possible. But please don't do this with anything white or nude. And the last, if we really want to do a cheap fix, we gather our 2 bra straps in the middle of our backs and have a friend stick the safety pin between them. And then it's got other pictures of women where you see the bra strap in the front and the back.
Praise be to the mighty Yah. Yah makes a way out. Way out. Yah keeps making a way out from your shame. He makes a way out for you to come out of that shame. He has a standard. He always had a standard of what to wear and what not to, what to sport and what not to. Praise be to the mighty Yah. Let's go back to some scriptures.
Okay.
That's Genesis chapter 16. Genesis chapter 16 verse 13, and it reads, Genesis 16 and 13, it reads, this is all about Yah's covering people, hams of the whole era. Yah has a standard. He wants for people. You become, spiritual Israel. He has a standard for us to stand up on. Praise to representing Him. If you, he said, if you have Him, you would do what I say. You wouldn't try to diagnose it and petite. Oh well, it don't really mean that. He let us do this like that. No. And as I raw Micaiah, you say, no. That's what got us in this situation now. Our ancestor got us here. Going and the world is upside down because the years right here. Praise be to the mighty Yah. Truth be true. So we about here at Yahshua and all the temple around the truths of our Yahweh.
That's right.
And it don't matter what I want to do. You can call us up, write us, email us, do all that stuff. It don't matter. Truth be true. You just want what the answer gonna be? None.
That's right.
We don't have to come with you back and forth with you about Yah's devour, what is him and what is him. What he ever speak is done. It's for your edification, to lift you up, bring you up to a higher standard of our Yahweh. Praise be to the mighty Yah. Genesis chapter 6, verse 13, and it reads.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 13. And Elohim said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Praise the mighty Yah. Skip down to verses 17 and 18, and it reads.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 17. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven. And everything that is in the earth shall die. 18. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee.
Praise the mighty Yah. See, this is where Yah, he likens the physical to the spiritual.
Yeah.
This is a spiritual thing. He had to cover the earth
Yeah.
to get rid with Mayan, to get
Okay.
rid of all that evil, that wrong.
Yeah.
He had to
Right.
cover them. And he had brought Noah and his family into the ark to cover them,
Yeah.
to have Kai.
Yes.
You know, praise my Yah. It's all about a covering. This is a spiritual covering. He's likening it to the physical. He wants you to know he always had a covering.
Yes.
That he had said it was a Torah, a law that you had to obey and follow. Praise be to the mighty God.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to chapter 9. 9 verses 11 7. It was all leading up to his physical covering that was going to be on the earth.
Yeah.
He always had a covering.
Yes.
From Shemayim to the Arab.
Say it.
For now and forever. Praise be to Abba Yahweh. Chapter 9 verses 11 to 17, and it reads.
All right. Then it says, chapter 9, verse 11. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. 12. And Elohim said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. 13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of the covenant between me and the earth.
Praise the mighty Yah. See that? That they say a covenant, that's to cover you.
Yes.
And he gave you a sign that his covenant
Hallelujah.
is there with you.
Yeah.
That rainbow. Continue our come.
Verse 14. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. 15. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. 16. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. 17. And Elohim said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth.
Praise be to the mighty Yah. Y'all see that?
Thank you, Abba.
He had made, you know, a covenant with them, you know. It's a covering.
Yes,
it's
it
a
is.
promise, you know, that he would never do it like that again.
Yes.
But when Yeshua comes, it's going to be a different one. So we're getting prepared now. That's why he said, the Nabis to come into you, to give you this bars for you're going to be prepared in that great, terrible day.
Yes.
Terrible day for people that ain't with him. It's a great day for us.
It is.
Praise
Right.
the mighty
That's
Yah.
right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Let's go to chapter 11, verses 5 to 7, and it reads.
Okay. And it says, chapter 11, verse 5. And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. 6. And Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Praise the mighty Yah. Yahweh saw from Shemaiah, he had to come down. He had to put a covering of confusion on them, because they had got the big head, got puffed up, didn't stay aligned to him. He gives us everything. You get puffed up. He said, let me go ahead and put a covering over this. It's a spiritual covering. He said, let me come smash this before they get worse. He's doing it for their good. They told, for they wouldn't hurt themselves. Praise be to the mighty Yah. It's all about the covering, Yah. That's it. Let's go to chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Chapter 12, verses 1 and 3, and it reads.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now Yahweh had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Praise the mighty God. This is Yahweh covering with his debars upon covering the blessing that we are getting today.
Enjoying, right.
So that's it.
That's right.
Because he covered our Abraham. Praise be to the mighty God. And you get double blessing. You become spiritual Israel. You become Abraham's real seed. Praise the mighty God. It's a promise to everyone.
Yes.
15, from chapter 15 and verse 1. And it reads, chapter 15, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. After these things, the word of Yahweh came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield, and thy exceeding great reward.
Praise the mighty God. See that shield?
Yes.
Covering.
Praise him.
We have the shield of protection from the dam of Yahshua, the blood of Yahshua. That's our shield of protection from anything and everyone on this earth. We nothing can stand against us. Because all we got to do is stand on the promises and the bars of our Yahweh.
Yes.
Praise the mighty God.
Hallelujah.
Skip down to verses 5 to 6 and it reads.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. 6. And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
Praise the mighty God. See that Shemai covering? He said, look at this covering my beautiful stars here. If you count that, hey, you good. You know what I mean? So he had that covering, which he was going to bless him with his children to come after him. Praise the mighty God. And then he had counted to be deep. That's what all it is. Because he just heard and believed. That's all we doing. We reading and hearing this and believe. That's all you should have.
Right.
Just to believe.
Right.
And trust him and have patience. Wait on him. Don't go ahead of him.
No.
Praise the mighty God. Because if you do, you ain't got the covering no more.
Yeah.
Jump ahead. Praise the mighty God.
Covering, that's right.
It's all about the covering. That's all it is. This is the spiritual covering he wants you to give that lead us to the physical covering. Praise the mighty God. Go to chapter 17, read verses 1 to 2. And it reads.
And it says, chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am El Shaddai Elohim. Walk before me and be thou perfect. 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly.
Praise the mighty God. He's making his covenant bereaved. That's covering.
Yes.
He's covering.
Yes, it
you
is.
know, he's telling, hey, he's letting you know.
Yeah.
Check it out, brother Abraham. Your age don't mean nothing. I got you.
Right.
Hey, so I'm the great Elohim. Say anything too impossible for me? No. Praise the mighty God. He may take he wants us to be being redundant, wants us to get it, Israel.
Right.
He repeats it over and over. And he has us just to repeat it over and over.
Right.
Ain't nothing like the Iysh and Iyshshah, Arkanaka. When we on point, we on point. We read from this book, bringing it to up to y'all.
Yes.
We may have disagreement. Get over the kindergarten madness. There's work to be done.
Yes.
It's about saving souls and nephews. That's it. And edifying on each other up. Not tearing each other down. Because why? You're not a now and you're not in the ruach. You are puffed up in the flesh. You know, that's all the works of the flesh. But you don't read about the fruits of the ruach. Praise be to the mighty Yahweh. Skip down to verses 5 to 7 and it reads.
Alright, Genesis chapter 17, verse 5. Neither shall thy name be called, no any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
Praise the mighty Yah. What a bereaved for covering is a contract.
Yes, it
you know, that between us and Elohim. This is a promise that He covered you. You just obey me. This is my covering.
Yeah.
Promise you forever.
Right.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Skip down to verses 9 to 13 and it reads.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 9. And Elohim said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee, in their generations. 10. This is my covenant which ye shall keep, between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. 11. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. 12. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. 13. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yeah.
And there's people that think, you know, supposed to be circumcised. Makai found we didn't know, and then when he read this, he had obedience, he did it.
Right.
You know, and this is his
That's right.
brief with us, it's covering.
Right.
You do this, males, you do this, he's covering us.
Right.
You know, he gave it to the man first. This is it. This is how you're going to get his kokomayada and being, because you're being obedience.
Yes.
Praise be to the mighty. It's the covering of the barakas he had us to be barak, so we can barak ourselves and others. Praise be to the mighty God. Let's go to chapter 19. Chapter 19, verses 14 to 16, and it reads, Rahab, whenever you have it. Praise the mighty Yah.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 14. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for Yahweh will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. 15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. 16. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, Yahweh being merciful unto him. And they brought him forth and set him without the city.
Praise the mighty Yah. See that great covering there?
Right.
Yahweh's Malach King, like, hey, you slowful. Come on, this ain't no joke. We finna tear this up. And you know, as black folk, we can tear something up. You know, one of us. So these Malach King are black, so they can tear something up.
Yeah.
Praise the mighty Yah. But that's the covering. The spiritual covering, that's a half he had for us. He wished that none should perish.
Yes.
You just come into hit the bar
Thank you,
and be obedient.
Yes.
Just do what he said.
Yes.
And don't try to circumstance with a thought of your own. Don't lean. He said, don't lean to your own understanding.
Right.
Don't get puffed up when you go into the flesh. The flesh is us, our own ruach. You know, our own nefesh. And it's intimate against the ruach of Yah.
It is.
And we are our biggest worst enemy in the flesh.
I know that's
But
right.
if you stay in the
Yeah.
ruach, let the ruach rule. Because
Yeah.
when you get in the flesh, here come your daddy. Hasatan with the greater influence. The puppet master. So stay in the ruach.
That's right.
And that chump, you can only come with some tempting the bar. That's nothing. You like, get back, Jack.
Right.
I ain't going for that crap. No more.
No more.
Yeah.
That's it. Praise the mighty Yah.
Mighty
Yahweh.
Let's go to chapter 20 and verses 3 to 7, and it reads, Praise the mighty Yah.
Yes, Barak Hashem.
Revelation knowledge.
Oh, yes, it's good. Very good. Genesis chapter 20, verse 3. But Elohim came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, she is a man's wife. Verse 4. But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Adon, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Verse 5. Said he not unto me, she is my sister? And she, even she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. 6. And Elohim said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart. For I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. 7. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine.
Praise the mighty now. Now this would have been a zip food if Yahweh came and told them, Yahweh what? That was the covering.
Right.
He held them back from Hatah, he said, against him. And then he gave him, hey, if your foolish fool self don't give it back, you gonna make it for sure, you gonna die.
That's right.
Huh? Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
You better zip food. Here it is.
Right.
We got these foods today. Here it is.
Right.
The same thing. It's written.
And warned, yeah.
And he gave it to you. You read it, he's talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you refuse, there's consequences. He just ain't zapping you out like he did in the old, because why? Yeah, Yeshua came, gave you hand is more, because Yeshua came into the flesh. You Roman Christian believer.
Yeah.
It always been hand and grace. He just came in the flesh and showed you it could be done.
Right.
And that's what made it great. He came and fulfilled all the Torah in his death.
Yes, he did.
And that's what makes it greater. Praise the mighty Yah. And then he had said, he said, now therefore restore the Ha'adam his Iyshshah, for he is a Nabi, and he shall prolong for thee, and thou shalt Kaya. And if thou restore her not, that thou shalt surely move, thou and that all that are dying, your whole family, your consequences of your action, it affects your family. It is written, Yahweh done it from the air.
Yeah.
But he was saying, we are Nabuas. We give this, you know, we get a Nabur, which is these Dabar, and we are anointed. So when we pray, because we are righteous through Yahweh, your healings and everything is guaranteed. Praise the mind, if you believe. Right. And if you don't, it's for naught. But we believe, so it's all good. We know it's to be in it. Praise the mighty Yah.
Yes.
Let's go to chapter 22 and verse 1 and 2, and it reads, whenever you have holler Yahweh.
Thank you, Lord.
Chapter 22, verses 1 and 2.
Genesis chapter 22, verse 1. And it came to pass that Elohim did tempt Abraham, and said unto Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. 2. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Yitzchak, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee of.
Well, we know Yahweh ain't gonna tempt, so that's just a print. They had, he would prove you test you. That's about it. To prove you're gonna be faithful, you get you a test. That's about it.
Yes.
So we can like say get rid of that as Ron Akmakar would do something. Be it he would test you. He'd rather not put test because he's not the tempter. The tempter is the prophet man. Hasatan.
That's right.
Don't get it twisted.
That's right.
You read that was just a misprint. A man wrote and did the best he could.
Yes.
So that's all that is. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
Yes.
So let's skip down to verses 6 to 18 and it reads. 6 to 18 and it reads.
Okay. Genesis chapter 22 verse 6. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Yitzchak his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife. And they went both of them together. 7. And Yitzchak spake unto Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood. But where is the lamb for a burnt offering? 8. And Abraham said, My son, Elohim will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went, both of them, together.
Praise the mighty Yah. Y'all see this?
Oh.
This that confidence he had in,
Oh, yeah.
in our Yahweh. That was it. Y'all just want to prove you and test you to see if you prove worthy to him.
Right.
You know, this the confidence. But his son like was saying, Daddy, where's the wood and all this? What's up, Daddy? You know, something, you ain't got that meat to cook. You know, what's going on? Continue.
All right, Genesis chapter 22, verse 9. And they came to the place which Elohim had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Yitzchak his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. 11. And the angel of Yahweh called unto him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I.
Praise the mighty Yah. Y'all know, like people like that cliche. He may not be on time, but he's right on time. There he was.
He had to
Not
stop it.
right
He had
on
to stop it. He
time.
had to do
Like
it.
praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Continue.
All right, verse 12. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou reverence Elohim, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me.
Praise the mighty Yah. See, this is a spiritual cover of Abraham, and then, like I say, likened the physical to the spiritual. This is the of the new. This is our Yahweh and Yahshua right here, to be the sacrifice for us. Praise the mighty Yah. The covering Yah, that's all it's about. Continue.
Verse 13. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. 14. And Abraham called the name of that place Yahweh Yireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of Yahweh it shall be seen. 15. And the angel of Yahweh called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time. 16. And he said, By myself have I sworn, saith Yahweh, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son. 17. That in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. 18. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my
Praise the mighty Yah.
Thank you,
That's what Master Daniel Davis would say. Yah is about multiplication.
That's
he
right.
He ain't taking nothing, giving, taking
No.
away from me. Only one to do that is Hasatan.
Right.
He wants you to get this, y'all.
Yes.
The covering is all it was about. Abraham knew he was covered. He was, that's it. That's the confidence we had. No matter what this life comes, what life situation comes, we know just to stand on these bar and be patiently wait on our Yah, because he's gonna see us through. He's not an outdown that he can't lie. Praise be to the mighty Yah. By attach trust in our Yah.
Yes.
Give him surrender. Give him your whole time. And be an avid servant of him. It's a wonderful life.
Yes, it
Walking
is.
this journey. Not knowing, but knowing he's going to see us through. Praise the mighty Yah.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to chapter 26, verses 1 to 5, and it reads, whenever you have it. Chapter 26, verses 1 to 5. Praise and all praise God.
Yes,
Yahweh.
yes.
In Yeshua's name,
Yes,
amen.
do all praise. Bless you, Abba. Genesis chapter 26, verse 1. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Yitzchak went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. 2. And Yahweh appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Mizraim, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. 3. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, And I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father. 4. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. 5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my law.
Praise the mighty Yah. That's it.
Obedient.
See, he just,
Yes.
a spiritual covering up to the son now.
Yes.
He goes, like he say, he gonna curse you for the third and fourth generation.
Right.
That's what, Israel sleeping in Israel, that's the curse.
Right.
For many generations. Because they're disobedient, but he waking us one by one. See, this is what it's all about, the covering, the promises. That's all he wants to cover, that spiritual cover.
That's right.
And all we have to do is the physical covering he asks us to do.
Right.
What's so hard about that? The way he has us looking nice and all that, coming from the head to the toe, looking nice, representing our Yahweh. That's what it's about. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Let's go to chapter 32, verses 24 to 29. 32, verses 24 to 29. It reads, Rob.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 24. And Yaakov was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Yaakov's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. 26. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. 27. And he said, What is thy name? And he said, Yaakov. 28. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Yaakov, but Yisrael. For as a prince hast thou power with Elohim and with men, and hast prevailed. 29. And Yaakov asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there.
Praise the mighty Yah.
I see your face, have your way. I praise your name.
My people lost faith, cause these times is hard. Psalm 14:1, the fool said in his heart, there is no God.